Okay, I feel like we are now live. Welcome everybody. My name is Jack from tofluency.com and this is the Tofluency Show. It's an English lesson which is live on YouTube and we go through various topics. We talk a little bit about grammar, but mainly I give you a lot of examples so that you can learn new words and phrases and so that you can practice your English. And if you are joining live, then I'd love for you just to say hi and tell me where you are watching this from. So tell me where you are from. And luckily, I have the comments here today. I just said here, just testing the sound. It wasn't working, and it's because I had the wrong mic plugged in. But luckily, the sound should be okay. Let me know if it's not okay. If you are watching the replay, if you're watching this replay, then check out the description to learn how you can get notified to watch this live. But it's really simple. It's really simple. This is every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. New York time. And I'll leave a link so you can calculate what time that is where you are. But before we get started, if you're new, click that subscription button. Just click subscribe and then click that bell. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button, and that means you'll get notified. You'll get a little thing on your phone. It says, watch live now to Fluency, the Tax Man. That's right, we're going to talk about taxes today. And if you're already subscribed, make sure you are receiving notifications. We have a lot of people here. Sorry if I missed some comments. We've got Nguyen from Vietnam, the Natsby from Belarus, Deborah from Brazil, Bishwa from Nepal, Camilo from Medellin, Colombia. I love that place. I was there. Estefany is from Colombia as well. Gabriela from Brazil. We've got someone from Russia. Oh, what is that name? I need to learn Russian names. Anil from India. Jocelyn from Brazil. I think Oleg from Russia. San is here. Miguel from Bolivia. Where in Bolivia? Let me know. Medina from Bosnia. Mahmoud from Indonesia. San from Kazakhstan. Ravi from India. Paulino. Ding ding bell sound. Ding ding notification. We are now live. Sorry, there are so many comments. It's hard to keep up. Gabriella says happy Carnival. Yeah, it's Carnival, isn't it? They had a parade, like a Mardi Gras parade here in Asheville, but we didn't make it, unfortunately. I know it's a really big deal in Brazil. It's really important in Brazil. It's also important in New Orleans, in America, and they have parades throughout the country as well. I feel like it's a festival that's going to get more important every year here in America. Oh, this is what we're going to talk about soon, the Beatles, but first, again, this is a live English lesson called the Tofluency Show. The Tofluency Show. It's every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Okay. I also go live on YouTube on other days too, but every Wednesday you will know at 10:30 a.m. New York time we will be live here. Now, one word of caution. Be careful about time changes, because I know the clock changed in Brazil, therefore there might be a 2-hour difference now, and some countries the clock changes, some countries they don't. For example, in America we're going to have a time change in 2 weeks, I think, and it's spring forward and fall back. But again, click that subscribe button and then click that notification bell. That means you'll get a notification on your phone and by email when I go live and when I upload other videos. We also have Super Chat on today. This is a way for you to support these live lessons. You can send in a small donation, or you can send in $2 or $4, etc., and have a chat, a super chat. And it means I'll be able to definitely read out your chat. But that's obviously an optional thing. Let's start with this. Okay, here's our first phrase for today. I've been doing a bunch of interviews recently on other podcasts and channels. Okay? So recently I've been doing a bunch of interviews. Two things. A bunch of means a lot of. This is informal. I use it all the time. You'll hear me say a bunch of all the time. I've been doing a bunch of interviews recently on other podcasts and channels. So I'm using the present perfect continuous because I'm using recently. Okay, I have been doing, I've been doing. And I'm using this because I'm talking about something that started in the past and it's continuing now. So I've been doing a bunch of interviews on podcasts and channels. And I love being interviewed. I love being interviewed. I really enjoy this. You might have seen the one I did with English with Adriana. I went live with her on Friday. And I've been interviewed on different podcasts as well. So I'm going to share all these interviews on my Facebook page, facebook.com/tofluency. Let's see who is here. I can't see you or hear you. I think it's probably your connection. Just refresh the page. You got David from Peru. Deborah, I love your live English lessons. Thank you for being here. The time difference between New York City and Bolivia is just 1 hour. Yeah, and that might change soon. Nandish is going to give me a lot of money, which I'll gratefully accept. Tabusha, it is 12:36 in Japan, so right, it's late at night. It's late at night. We've got Mamadou from Egypt. Can someone tell me chat start or not? So someone in the chat just say, hey, we've started. We've started. Watch the video. We've got a bunch of other people joining. This is so much fun. In fact, let's see. There are currently 109 people watching live. If you are enjoying this lesson, just click that thumbs up button. Click that thumbs up button. It helps YouTube know that this is a useful lesson and they'll share it with other people. So I'm very grateful if you do that. Let's go back to this. Okay, so like I said, I've been doing a bunch of interviews recently on other podcasts and channels. A lot of. I've been doing present perfect continuous. I love being interviewed. And in fact, if you're a teacher and you want to feature me, I've got a form for you to fill out. And just send me a Facebook message. So send me a Facebook message on my page. And I've got a form for you to fill out. Now, speaking about fill out, did you watch this live lesson that I did yesterday? Yeah, I did this yesterday in my house. I did it live on YouTube in my house. And I showed you around my house a little bit. Let me know if you watched that. Just a quick yes or no. Quick yes or no. Did you watch this? Fill in or fill out. Someone's saying the sound isn't loud enough. Let me know if you're having problems with the sound or if it's just somebody who needs to turn their sound up. Is that better or is that too loud? Let me know if that is better or if it's too loud. I've turned up the sound. So maybe it was a problem on my end. Let's see the comment section. Yes, I did. Parvana watched it. Tsubasa said I clicked the thumbs up button. Yes, I did. Yes. A lot of people have seen this video. I didn't, so bad. Well, I've left a link to this video in the description, so you can watch it after. So many people have watched this video. Fantastic. Some people are saying too loud. It's perfect. Too loud. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. Yes, I did. I'm just going to turn it down a tiny bit. Okay, hopefully that should be perfect now. That should be perfect. Thank you so much for the comments. This this is why it's great to go live, because you can give me feedback. You can tell me if the sound is too loud or too low. A lot of people are saying it's better. Thanks again for the comments. And if it is a little bit too loud, you can turn down your volume, I guess. You can turn down your volume. Okay, so fill in or fill out. I talked about this yesterday because basically right now it is tax season. It is tax season. And this is when people are doing their taxes. So it's to do taxes. And because I have a business, I need to do business taxes and I need to do personal taxes. And in America, it's really complicated. In the UK, everything is automated and you don't need to do a personal tax return. Or at least I don't remember doing one. But you don't need to do this. And in the US, there's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork. So what I had to do, I had to fill out, what I said in the live lesson was this. I had to fill out this form today for my accountant. I had to fill out this form today for my accountant. To fill something out means to complete. To fill out a form means to complete a form. To write your name, your date of birth, your income, etc. So to answer questions on the form. So I had to fill out this form today for my accountant. And like I said in the live lesson, before I filled it out, I printed it out. So we have these phrasal verbs, fill out and print out. Before I filled it out, I printed it out. Let's practice that sentence. All I want you to do is to repeat this sentence. It's going to improve your speaking. Before I filled it out, I printed it out. Before I filled it out, I printed it out. Now, you'll notice that what we do, we've printed it, we link those two, or the sounds together. We link those words together. Printed it, printed it. And this is a great example of linking in English, where you have two words on a page, but they link together when you say them. Printed it, printed it. And a lot just depends on the vowels you use and the consonants and the sounds. But in many cases, when we have it, this links together. Printed it, printed it, printed it. So let's just practice that. Just repeat after me. Printed it, printed it, printed it. Okay, it might sound strange, but this is one of the reasons why a lot of people say, I find it hard to understand native speakers. I find it hard to understand TV shows and movies. It's because we use that connected speech. We link words together. So before I filled it out, I printed it out. Good. So what we have here, okay, fill in and fill out. We also have print, print out, and print off. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is so confusing, but let me explain. Fill in is more like British English. Fill out is more like American English. Okay? These days, because I live in America, I use fill out. Okay? But you can use both. You can use both. Fill in, fill out. Print, print out, and print off. From my experience, they are more or less the same. They used to have subtle differences, but now people use them the same. So to print something, to print out something, to print off something, it more or less means the same thing. And a good idea is just to use one variant of each of these, but understand that the other variants mean more or less the same thing. And that's the advice I give for a lot of things, because when you're speaking, you don't want to hesitate and think, which one is it? Is it British, American English? I can't remember. It's easier just to say one and to use that all the time. But when you're reading and listening to things, when you're watching my live lessons, you can understand the different ways to say things as well. Okay? So fill in, fill out, it means the same thing. The first one is more common in British English. Print, print out, print off, it means the same thing. Okay? And I've just got one more phrase for you. Print it off and fill it out. Let's just practice this one. Print it off, fill it out. Print it off and fill it out. Now, some people are saying there's some background noise. Some background noise. Seems like we're having a few technical problems today. I'm trying to think why you might have this background noise. Let me know if there's some kind of problem with the stream. I'm just going to double check a couple of things to make sure the audio is okay, it says. Shouldn't be able to hear anything through my computer. Hopefully it's going to be okay. Please let me know if you have some problems listening. I'm just going to bring up the comments because Fanny says, Jack, I can hear your voice in the background noise. Nandish, there is some background noise. Antonio says, you are frozen. So, yeah, please let me know if there are further problems. A lot of people are saying it's okay. If you have problems, I'll write this here, okay? This is a conditional. If you have problems, refresh the page. Okay? This is a conditional. If you have problems, refresh the page. And I'm using this as like a command, the imperative. So if you have problems, refresh the page. Let's go back to this. Okay. So I went through this yesterday. I won't go on about it too much more. But as I say, it's tax season. And there's a song that has this, it talks about tax season, talks about the tax man. And it's by the Beatles. It's by the Beatles. It is a great song. And there's a little bit of a story behind this, okay? There's a little bit of a story behind this. And basically, there was a new tax that was introduced, I think in the 70s. And it was called a super tax. And it was called the 95% tax, which meant that earnings over a certain amount were taxed at 95%, which is incredible. You know, that if you earn so much money, then that money would be taxed at 95%, which means you have to pay the government 95% of that. So the Beatles wrote a song about the tax man. And basically, they are not happy with the tax man. They are not happy with the tax man. And they say, should a 5% appear too small, be thankful I don't take it all. Because I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man. Should 5% appear too small, be thankful I don't take it all. It's a great, great phrase to know. Because basically what they're saying is this. If you're complaining about only getting 5% and having to pay 95% taxes, then you should be grateful that we don't take all your money. So it's a little bit, sarcastic. It's complaining about this tax system. It's complaining about this tax system, about being taxed too much. So they're saying, what the tax man is saying is, hey, if you think that 5% is not enough for you, then just be thankful that I don't take all your money. And do you know why? Because I am the tax man. I have control over everything. I am the tax man. So that is the song for this week. I like to give you guys a song every week. 2 weeks ago, it was the Kooks in Naive. Last week it was U2, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. This week it's the Beatles, the Tax Man. Now notice that all these songs, well, two are from the UK and one is from Ireland, but they're all kind of, British, Irish, English. I think I need to introduce an American song next week. Let's just go to the comments section. Sebastian says, people, don't put your email. Okay, I should really give the rules. You can't put your email in the chat because basically about 5,000 people are going to see your email now. Okay, and it's not the best way just to talk. Keep the chat on topic, so keep it focused on what we're talking about. Most people do this, like Pavana. In my country, we hate the tax man. Most people do. Yeah, it's not. Everyone hates paying taxes. Sebastian is here. Thank you, and thank you, Jack, for this lesson. It is my pleasure. Louise loves this song. What is the meaning of fill in and out and print off? So to fill in means to complete a form. To fill out means to complete a form. I've actually left a link to that lesson in the description. So after this lesson, take a look at it. Temp says, this lesson is very useful to me. Gemma wants me to sing. Gemma, don't make me sing. I actually sang in French on a live Facebook lesson last week. But, it's one of those things. Alexi says, can I say I had printed out the form and filled it out? In most cases, it's better just to say I printed out the form and filled it out, because this is like a continuation of events. And when we do this, we just use the simple past. I went to the shop, bought a lot of items, then I had lunch, and then I hung out with some friends. So we just use those things. But the present perfect or the past perfect is used in different situations. Estelle says, my husband works at the tax organisation or tax agency for the Argentine government. Wow. He's always talking about taxes. So people are complaining about this background noise. There might be an echo and I don't know why. That's really frustrating because, it doesn't give a good lesson. I'll think about a way that I can change this in a second. Maybe it's got two audio files. Just bear with me, everyone, because I want to try and fix this if possible. Video capture. I'm using software to do this. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why. Sorry, everyone. Some people say it's not a problem, but I'll try and see if I can fix this. Okay, so let me go back to my beautiful slides. Check out that song. Now, the next question is this. Did you watch this lesson? An English conversation about getting sick. An English conversation about getting sick. Did you watch this conversation? Just give me a quick yes or no. This is where my wife and I talked about getting sick. Again, I've left the link in the comment section. Some people are still saying about the echo, some saying it isn't. Gemma says taxes are necessary, aren't they? They are. You just have to pay taxes. Aurora says yes. Farid hasn't seen it. Basically what we did was we talked about getting sick and we had a bunch of vocabulary. And the good news is this. I'm going to upload these conversations to iTunes and Stitcher and all those places next week. My wife and I are going to take a photograph. Maybe if I can maybe that's going to help. Maybe that'll take the echo away. Anyway, we're going to take a photograph so we can have some artistic cover for our podcast. And then we're going to upload it to iTunes and to Stitcher and everything else. So we're really excited about it. But yeah, this is going to be on iTunes and Stitcher and everywhere else. Not yet, yes, I couldn't, not yet. No, I joined yesterday only. Ravi, it's great to have you here. Marco watched it. Estella says I'll watch it later. Deborah says I love this lesson. Thank you so much. Can you hear that echo in the background now? Let me know if it's gone away. Philippe is here from Paris. Can I suggest something? The comments delay your lesson. I think about if you keep your video without seeing the comments so often. Yeah, thanks for the tip. Gemma is going to be on SoundCloud. Parvana says, recently I've noticed that my English has improved a lot since I watch your videos. I haven't seen it yet. Rafaela says, yes, yes. Cool. Fantastic. A lot of people have seen it. Well, there are a couple of phrases that I used in this that I want to just talk about really quickly. Or real quick in American English. This one. In the lesson I talked about how I got typhoid. And I said it took me a long time to recover from that. It took me a long time to recover from that. So, what we're talking about here is the fact that it took me a long time to recover, to get better from typhoid. And we're using this phrase, it took me. It took me a long time. It took me 6 weeks. It took me 10 years. It took me 3 weeks. Okay? It took me a long time to recover from that. But very soon afterwards, I said this. As we get older, it takes us longer to get over these colds. So look at the difference here. It took me a long time to recover from. It takes us longer to get over. So I wanted to point this out. I wanted to show you this because we're using, well, 2 examples of it takes us, it takes me, it takes you, it takes everyone. This one is in the past, it took me. This one is in the present, it takes us. It took me a long time, it takes us longer. But recover from, get over. To recover from something, to get over. And they more or less mean the same thing. They more or less mean the same thing. Okay? So it takes us longer to get over a cold, and you can recover from a cold as well. So I wanted just to point that out because again, it can be confusing when it comes to this. It can be a little bit confusing to recover from something, to get over something as well. You have fixed the problem. Fantastic. Yeah, I think what happened was my audio was on and I had my headphones in and the noise was coming out the headphones. And you could probably just hear it a little bit in the background. Technical problems. Technical problems. Parvana has said it takes me 20 minutes to get to work. Guys, give me some more examples with it takes me. Okay? It takes me. Or you can just say it takes. For example, it takes 7 minutes to boil an egg. It takes 7 minutes to boil an egg. So please let me know. Please give me some comments. While you're doing that, this is live. I'm going to answer my phone. It's my wife. Hey, just to let you know, I am in a live lesson. Okay. So, do you want to say hi to everyone? Hi, everyone. She says hi. Go on, really quickly. I just got out of the plane line, but I forgot to bring my carrier. I was wondering kind of what to deal with. I needed to go grocery shopping before we got here. Right. How long are you going to be in your live lesson? Till 11:30. Okay. So I might cancel on lunch today. Do you know where your mom is and how to get in touch with her? She is on Wall Street, and I don't know how to get in touch. I don't know where that knitting circle is. Okay, well, why don't you give me a call when she meets up with you? Okay. I'll go to Trader Joe's now. Okay, cool. All right, love you. Bye-bye. No worries. Bye-bye. Sorry, I have to take calls when it's my wife. She called twice. So I thought it'd be, cool to listen to me having that conversation. Basically, she is going to go shopping instead of meeting my mum and I for lunch. Okay, let's go back to the lesson. She's calling again. I'm so sorry. Everyone's saying hi, Kate. Hello? She called me by accident. Her phone's in her pocket. Anyway, sorry about that. Could you please repeat the song by the Beatles? It's called The Tax Man. It's called The Tax Man. It takes me 2 weeks to recover from the cough. Perfect example. Recover is the same with cure, is it not? A cure is like the medicine you take to recover from something. And it's a little bit scientific the way it's used. Miguel, it takes me 10 minutes to make breakfast. Fantastic. It takes me 10 minutes to have a shower in the morning. Antonio says I'm not listening to any noise. Antonio, I don't know what's going on. It's probably on your end. Learning English. Okay, it takes a long time to learn English. It takes me 2 hours to do the housework. Yeah, great example. It takes me 2 hours to clean the house. It took me a long time to understand what she meant. It takes me around 30 minutes to make my dinner. It took me ages to get over my ex-girlfriend. Louise, that's a great example. A great example. But it's in the past, so hopefully you are over it now. It doesn't take a long time to get fit and healthy. It takes me 10 minutes to get to work. It takes me a long time to paint all my walls. Fantastic. Aram says, phones aren't allowed in lessons. Yeah, guys, turn your phones off. Turn your phones off. It's a little bit different these days, isn't it? It's a little bit different. It took me a year to keep up with English fluency. It takes me a day to fix my car. It takes me 2 weeks to recover from pain in my stomach. Sorry, I'm not quite understanding that one. As traffic jams have increased in the city, it takes me longer to get to work. It takes me half an hour to reach my university. The stream is perfect. We just hear a little voice in the background. Hopefully that's in the past. Okay, it takes me time to clean my bedroom. Very good. Fantastic. Fantastic. Whew. Today is a crazy lesson. It's live. These things happen. Tips for the tax season. Okay, so I'm doing this partly for me, but also because I saw 3 tips that have really good phrases that we can learn. And these are tips for the tax season. So I'm going to go over those now. And tip number 1 is this. Hire a professional. Hire a professional. And you can read the article there's a link in the description. But let's just look at 3 tips and we're going to learn some English from them. Seriously, there is no excuse for not hiring a tax professional to file your taxes. And that means your personal taxes too. And what I really like about this sentence is this. I'm going to highlight it if I can. There is no excuse for not hiring a tax professional. Now this might seem like a double negative. There is no excuse for not hiring. And this just means there's no reason to not do it. You can't have any excuse to not hire someone. So we're using this phrase in a way to say, hey, this is what I think you should do. You should definitely hire a tax professional. You should definitely hire someone to do your taxes. There is no excuse for not hiring a tax professional. Here's another example. I might say, there's no excuse for not listening to something in English every day. There's no excuse for it. You know, you should be able to do this. You can do this. And in this case, it's talking about hiring a tax professional. There's no excuse for not hiring a tax professional. And just to say, some people do this on their own, but I'm so grateful for my new accountant. And just to say also, a professional is an accountant. So this is like the profession here, to be an accountant. And this means you're somebody who does the financial things, you do taxes, etc. So I have hired an accountant. Gemma says, but you don't hire anyone. I've hired someone for the last 7 years. Gemma, Why do you say that? Are you talking about tax returns? We are talking about tax returns. And again, this is common in America, you have to do a tax return. You have to do a tax return. Tip number 2, I like this one. Get organized. The more organized and straightforward you keep your receipts, records and books, the faster and easier it's going to be for your tax professional to file your taxes. That ultimately saves you a lot of time and money. Let's look at that last sentence. That ultimately, you could say, in the end, this saves you a lot of time and money. Doing this saves you a lot of time and money. That ultimately saves you a lot of time and money. So we can save time and we can save money, which are 2 great things to save. And I want to just talk about this as well. The more organized and straightforward, okay? Straightforward is very similar to simple. The more organized and simple, it's very similar, straightforward. So basically it's saying you need to get organized. You need to get organized. And I went into the tax office yesterday to my accountant and gave him my records and my receipts and everything. And he said, this is very organized. I felt very, very proud. But one thing is, I want to be more organized with my files as well. And I'm sure on your computer, you have files everywhere. You don't have the right folders. I need to get more organized with this kind of stuff. What's Gemma saying? Because you told us you're working on your taxes, Jack. Yeah, but so I work on my taxes to prepare them for my accountant. So I need to do things like print off all my forms, print off all my documents, and fill out the forms for the accountant. And then I give this information to my accountant, and then he does everything for me. He does everything for me. So, yeah, that's one of those things. One of those things. The last tip is this, and I love this. Be honest. This is the easiest piece of advice out there. I want to say something about that. I'll do it now. Okay, this is the easiest piece of advice out there. Now, I always see a lot of people say advice is, but if you want to make it countable, we all want to slip into the grey area. Just stay honest. Don't try to get creative. We're straightforward. Again, keep it simple. And you shouldn't have any problems. So we have piece of advice, which is used when we want to talk about it. One piece of advice, or she gave me 3 great pieces of advice. We can use that in an accountable way. We also have this grey area. And that's saying like, is it legal? Is it not? You're not being that honest, but it's, you're not quite sure if it's legal or if it's not legal, etc. So don't slip into that grey area. Don't be someone who tries to cheat, who isn't being completely honest. Don't try to get creative, okay? Don't try to get creative with your accounting. This just means don't cheat. Don't try to change things that aren't real. And it says keep it straightforward and you shouldn't have any problems. So I like this advice. Hire a professional, be honest, and get organised. I think it's good advice for anything that you want to do. Let's go to the comment section before we go to the part of the show where we test your knowledge. It says, Jack, you're fabulous. Thank you so much. Gemma has so many questions about me hiring a tax person. If you pay for it, what are you wasting your time preparing for all this work? Because they need my documents, otherwise they can't do it. They need my income for the year. They need my W-2 forms. They need to know how much I spent on certain things, how much I spent on daycare, and I need to prepare this for them. It's not wasting time, because in the end they save me money, because they find ways legally to save me money on taxes. I'm really getting deep about this, but Gemma keeps asking questions. I love it, Gemma, by the way. But the thing is this, I don't know how to fill out the form. I would spend about 10 hours or more researching how to file a tax return. And I don't know if I'm doing it properly or not. So the money I spend with the professional, with the accountant, is going to save me money. And it means that I can just relax and have confidence that it's going to be done properly. So what is the amount of money that someone has to pay the tax man? It all depends on your income. It all depends on your income. And again, I have a business, I have a personal return as well. Therefore, it gets even more complicated. So it's a lot of work, and I can't wait for this can't wait for it just to be finished. So that's the lesson for today. Let's just have a quick recap. We'll have I want to see what Gemma just said. You don't know they know everything about you, Jack? You don't know they know you. I don't know what you're saying there, Gemma. But, Gemma, keep giving me some comments. This is fun. Let's have a summary. I've been doing a bunch of interviews recently on other podcasts and channels. I love being interviewed. Okay, I love being interviewed. And if you're a teacher and you want to feature me, I've got a form for you to fill out. We talked about fill out and print out. Before I filled it out, I printed it out. Before I filled it out, I printed it out. We talked about the Tax Man and this song, which I think is going to be really beneficial for you. It's a great song, the Tax Man. One thing about this song I didn't mention is we're using cuz as an informal way to say because. And you'll hear this in a lot of songs. We talked about the difference between recover from and get over. It took me a long time to recover from that. As we get older, it takes us longer to get over these colds. And then I had some tips for the tax season, where we talked about hiring a professional, getting organised, and being honest. Okay, fantastic. It's question and answer time. Fill in the gaps. And I said that on purpose because we can also use fill in for fill in the gap. So I want you to complete this sentence. I want you to fill in the gap. I love something, soccer, on Sundays. So I want you to conjugate that verb in a way that is the most common way to use it. Okay? I love something, soccer, on Sundays. I love something, soccer on Sundays. So let me know what the answer is for this one. I'm going to give you the answer in 3, 2, 1. I love playing. And so many of you are getting this right. Fantastic. Farid says to play. You can say to play, but if it's something that you do on a regular basis, it's more common to say playing. I love playing soccer on Sundays. I love playing soccer on Sundays. Alright, second one is this. I really want to something this cold. I really want to something this cold. Okay. I'll give you the answer pretty soon. I really want to something this cold. And there might be 2 options here. There might not just be one option. I'm going to give you the answer in 3, 2, 1. I really want to get over this cold. Farid, fantastic. Or Gray says recover from. Yeah, I really want to get over this cold or recover from. So there are two options there. Recover from, not just recover, but recover from. Or get over this cold. Some people are saying get rid of. Yeah, I really want to get rid of this cold. You can say that too. Estella, there it is. Recover from or get over. And then I'm going to be a little bit cheeky because this is one from last week. And I want to just test your knowledge of last week's To Fluency show. I thought she something going to say yes. I thought she something going to say yes. What is the missing word? Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. I thought she something going to say yes. Louise has got it right. I'll give you the answer in 3, 2, 1. I thought she was going to say yes. Was. I thought she was going to say yes. Rema, Rosa, Love Languages, Jackie, Gabriella, Bob, Grace, Fatmuna, a lot of people. Yeah, I thought she was going to say yes. Fantastic. Really good. Really good. Okay. Fantastic. This has been fun today, although we did have some problems before, didn't we? Anyway, if you don't have my book yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? This book is free. You're going to love it. You can read it quite quickly, and it is full of practical advice to help you improve your English. It's called the 5-Step Plan for English Fluency. And you can get this at tofluency.com/book. Tofluency, I'm going to put this in the live chat. Tofluency.com/book or tofluency.com/5-steps. It's easier. Tofluency.com/book. That will redirect you. And then if you want my fluency phrases, magic memory cards, and 53 videos that will teach you exactly what you need to do to improve your speaking, to learn grammar, and to learn new words and phrases, then get the To Fluency program. Tofluency.com/TFP. In 2017, and this is February, I have added over 400 fluency phrases and 400 memory cards. And these are materials that you can download so that you can improve your fluency, so that you can internalize grammar and be able to speak without thinking about the rules, to speak without translating in your head. And this is, if you want all my materials, then get the complete program. Get the complete program. And you can go there to fluency.com/TFP. And one last thing, again, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, click that notification button, and then you'll be able to get notifications every time I go live. Okay, we've got a few minutes, so let's do a random question and answer session. Basically, that just means ask me any questions you have. And this is obviously, if you're watching live, you can ask me questions and I'll answer them for you. You can ask questions about English, about learning English, about me, about anything within reason. So if you have any questions, now is the time to send them in. And then after, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to meet my mum. My mum is visiting at the moment, and we're going to have some lunch together, which is great because I am so hungry right now. I'm so hungry. And I prefer to go have lunch rather than having these wild sardines. So, yeah. Let's go to the comment section. Anyway. Yulia, how to pronounce he says? Says or says? Yeah, you'll hear both. You'll hear both. He says he's not hungry. He says he's not hungry. It's more common to say says. Gemma, thank you so much. I never translate because I'm a member of Fluency. Yeah, Gemma joined the program 2 years ago. She gets all these new materials. By the way, if you join the complete program, then you'll get access to all materials that come in the future. No limit. There's no limit. Can you make a clean difference between nearly, around, and almost? I can't right now. I have to look it up a little bit. But thanks for the question. I'll actually research that. Sometimes sometimes there's subtle differences that, as a native speaker, it's difficult to really know those differences because we just use them in a normal way. Sammy, do you want to teach English? Is that a question for me? Because that's what I'm doing right now. Can you help me comprehend fast speaking? Yeah, work on your pronunciation. Because when you do that, it's been shown that this improves your comprehension. When you learn how to say things like printed it off, printed it off, printed it off, printed it out, then you'll be able to recognize this when people ask those, when they say it. So work on your pronunciation. It's going to make a big difference. And listen a lot. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, and then listen more, and then listen some more. Just listen as much as possible. Have you ever been to Poland? I have not been to Poland. I've never been there, but I'd love to go one day. I would love to go. Have you ever travelled to a Latin country? I spent 8 months in South America. I went to Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, trying to give a little bit of a Spanish accent. Chile, as we say, Chile, Brazil, and I lived in Spain for 2 years. So, spent a lot of time there. Explain the difference of make and do. So, there's a difference here where make is like to create something, like a factory. Apple makes this phone. And to do something is more of an activity, like to do the housework, to do a crossword puzzle. However, there are so many expressions that don't make any sense. You just have to learn the expressions. You have to learn the exceptions. Because there are so many, like do business, make your bed. There are no rules there. They're just expressions that we use. So, actually I'm going to make a lesson on make and do very soon. And I'm going to introduce a phrase where you use both of them. Okay, let's see. What kind of sentence is this? What you said might be true. What it means is saying what you just said may be true. I don't know. But yeah, I use that. What you said might be true. You say this when you're not 100% sure what they said is true, but you don't know. You haven't done your research. Do you plan to go back to the UK one day? Not anytime soon. We both love it here. We love Asheville. And maybe for a little bit, but I don't know. I prefer it here. Let's see. I'm trying to look for question marks. Can I say I thought she would say yes instead I thought she was going to say yes? Yeah, you can. And the difference is this. I thought she would say yes is a past of I think she will say yes. I thought she was going to say yes is a past of I think she is going to say yes. Both are more or less the same. I thought she would say yes. I thought she was going to say yes. But it just depends if will is better or going to is better. Have you been to India? No, I haven't. But my wife and I bought an India travel guide in 2007, I think, and we were going to go in 2008, maybe 2009, but it didn't happen. We didn't save up enough money while we were in Spain. So we went to Italy instead, I think. What does it mean to get carried away? I'll give you an example. It's like when you get too excited about something. or when you get ahead of yourself. So, for example, imagine that you're playing a game with your friends. You're playing a board game, and you get so excited that you say something just, silly, and you say, "Oh, sorry, I got carried away." It just means when you get really excited with something. And there's another way of saying it as well. How to pronounce butter and battle. Yeah, how to pronounce butter and battle. So, butter, battle. In American English, it's more like butter, battle. Butter, battle. It's my American accent. In British English, butter, battle. So you can see the difference between the two. What English programs do you advise us to watch? I actually went on a podcast about this. I suggest Suits, The Americans, and somebody recommended this, Luther, I think it's called. Luther. So check out those programs. My wife has just been watching, what has she been watching recently? Oh, we started a new one last night, which was really good. I think I can't remember the name. I'll share this on Facebook. I'll let you know. Is UK the common expression to keep up with the Joneses? Yeah, it is a little bit. Again, a lot of expressions are used in very specific ways. Very, very specific ways. But you could say, like, oh, did you see that the neighbour's got a new car? We need to get a new car, keep up with the Joneses. It just means like when you see someone in your neighbourhood, like get a new roof, get a new car, do something in their yard, and you want to keep up with that. You want to have what they have, because you're a little bit jealous maybe, so you keep up with the Joneses. Gabriella, that's probably the best question that I have ever been asked. Do you wet your toothbrush before or after applying toothpaste, or both? Gabriella, I love this question. I do both. I rinse the toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, a little bit of water, and then I start brushing my teeth. What a good question. So, I'm actually going to end it there because my mum is going to be here in about 2 minutes. So sorry if I didn't answer your question. But again, if you have enjoyed this To Fluency show, give it a thumbs up, share it, click that share button. You can now share in different ways on YouTube. I don't understand exactly how it works, but just share it. Share it with your friends, share it on WhatsApp, share it by message, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on VK, share it. It really helps me. And then, just as a quick summary, subscribe if you're new, go to tofluency.com/book if you want my book for free, and then tofluency.com/TFP to join the Fluency program. And join the complete program to get access to all these phrases. So guys, sorry about the technical issues. Sorry about all the different things that go wrong during a live lesson, but I still hope that you enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks again. And just come again next week. It's every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Be sure to check your time. If you're watching the replay on your screen now, you can subscribe here, you can download my book here, and you can watch, I'll put it over here. You can watch the last To Fluency show over here. Fantastic. I'll end it there. Thank you so much. These comments are so nice. And Estella says, say hi to your mother. I'll pass that on. Speak to you all soon. Bye for now.